Should you draft Brian Thomas Jr. in fantasy football this year? Well, let's talk about it. Brian Thomas Jr. was one of the emerging stars of last year, finishing as the wide receiver 4 overall. He's currently ranked as the wide receiver 8 this year and the 12th overall player. Now, despite his great production last year, I do have some concerns about Brian Thomas Jr. The main one being that a large amount of the production that propelled Brian Thomas Jr. to his wide receiver 4 overall finish happened when Mac Jones was under center. With Mac Jones under center, Brian Thomas Jr. averaged 19.3 fantasy points per game and had one bust game. When Trevor Lawrence was under center, Brian Thomas Jr. averaged 14.5 fantasy points per game and had 3 bust games, which I classify as games with less than 10 points. Additionally, the addition of Travis Hunter could be an issue for Brian Thomas Jr. in a way that in previous videos I said that the addition of George Pickens would not be an issue for CeeDee Lamb. This is because Trevor Lawrence has an infuriating issue where he was just bad last year. And I worry that if he produces the same way he did last year, that there won't be enough volume for Brian Thomas, with Travis Hunter not being good either, but him just mosquitoing off crucial receptions and yards from Brian Thomas Jr. Trevor Lawrence, in the 9 games he played last year, only went under 200 passing yards in 5 of those games. That is not great. And with the addition of an actually good wide receiver 2 compared to Gabe Davis last year going to Travis Hunter this year, it just worries me that Trevor Lawrence, a guy who who my opinion of has nosedived in the past couple of years, Travis Hunter might just mosquito off all of the some high value catches and yards and touchdowns from Brian Thomas Jr. without actually being good himself. And so it ends up with Travis Hunter both not being a valuable asset and Brian Thomas Jr. being not a valuable asset for his fit where he's drafted. I think that Brian Thomas Jr. will be good, but I just hesitant taking him around the guys he's going around because I think that they have less issues. Like, I'm a bigger fan of Malik Neighbors, a bigger fan of Puka Nacua. I'd rather have Derrick Henry, who's going around him. And I just think that there's just a chance that Brian Thomas Jr., despite how talented he is, might not be able to produce because Trevor Lawrence is just a bum. Overall, I'm going to give him a B+. I'm just a little concerned about whether or not he'll be able to produce to his ADP with Trevor Lawrence as quarterback.